helped create a YouTube channel that used AI to make over $100,000 in less than 90 days, and it wasn't luck. We built this AI YouTube channel without showing our faces, filming any content, or sitting hours at our computers. I have 7 channels right now currently making me passive income on YouTube, but this is one I haven't touched since I've created it. It's been a little over 6 months now, and this channel is still generating over $10,000 a month passively. And I'm going to break down every step it took from setting up the channel to how to actually get paid. Now, let's start with the most important part that many people just skip over, which is finding your niche. When creating a channel on YouTube, you need to understand why what you're about to do is going to work. Here's the channel. It's called Boring History, and it's made $24,059.78 in the last 90 days. And just to refresh this to actually show you that these numbers aren't fake, here you go. And if I press on settings with no cuts, you can see that this is in US dollar. Now, this channel is actually owned by 2 people in my mentorship program. They became friends in the community, decided to team up and create this channel, and we helped bring it to where it's at. And if you're interested in learning from somebody like myself and my team, there's a link to apply in the description. But I wanted to get into one thing you might notice immediately, which is the fact that this is at 900,000 views, but made $24,000 in 90 days. And why is that? And you can see here, the reason for that is because if I go to a random video, for example, this one has 11,000 views. If I go to the revenue tab and scroll down, you can see on this video, the revenue is $29.11 per 1,000 views. So 11,000 views made $323. And this is the benefit with AI. If you go and look here and I press on the video, the actual video is 2 hours and 39 minutes long. And if I kind of skim through the video, you can see that these are just AI generated images. And I'll even play the beginning of the video so that you can hear it's an AI voiceover. And just for a spoiler alert, it's an AI script as well. So everything is actually done with AI here, even the title and even the thumbnail. And I'm going to show you guys how we actually do that later in the video. So like I said, I'm just going to play the first 5 seconds.
Welcome, friend, to this peaceful journey through one of history's most captivating dynasties.
And just to prove, if I press somewhere random and play, it's going to be
Centuries to
the
come.
exact same thing.
The decades following the Great War.
Now, another reason this is great is if we go to the actual videos, you can see that this is extremely repeatable. If I just scroll and scroll and scroll, you're going to notice one thing, that all of these thumbnails, just take a look at them. They're pretty much the same thing. It just says text in the thumbnail that says calm history or boring history. They're just some people. It's the same art style. So same art style, same text, same color scheme, and same titles. It's very repeatable. So same time length, everything is just about the same. Like the videos are barely different from one another. So we have repeatable videos, aka videos that will last forever, video ideas that will last forever, I should say, because we could just make more and more and more. And because we're using AI, the AI that we're using is actually analyzing all of our titles, finding which ones perform the best, and then just generating more that are similar. And same thing with thumbnail ideas. It's very easy to come up with thumbnail ideas because they're all the same. So just to go over what I've said, we have repeatable videos, which is the title, the video itself, the thumbnails. We have high RPM because it's very long in length. The video length is like, some of them are almost 3 hours long. They're in between 2 to 3 hours. And another thing is that we are posting every single day, as you see. So I'm going to go over 2 mistakes that people make running AI channels. Number 1 mistake is not uploading enough. When some content is easy to make and you're not even making it, right? AI is generating everything. Post as much as possible because it's an easy niche, which means a lot of competition can come in. But the thing is, people think, oh, because competition's coming in, I can't do it. That is just simply not the case. All you got to do is post more than other people. And some people are lazy. They only want to put in 30 minutes. They're like, oh, the AI is so easy, so I'm just not going to do any work at all and post, once every 3 days. And then they think it's so easy. Because it's easy, just abuse that it's easy and run many, many videos. Generate many, many videos. And the only other mistake I see with AI niches is running channels that are just not able to monetize. And there are a few things that can go wrong here. Now, people think that you can't monetize AI channels for whatever reason anymore. That's simply not the case. People got scared because of a July 15th YouTube update that was pretty much just saying that YouTube doesn't want spam content. So all you have to do to avoid not getting monetized is pretty simple. Just make sure that your AI voiceover doesn't sound like random text-to-speech. It's good, high quality. Make sure everything you're doing is high quality, and then you'll never run into issues. Now, I want to show you guys exactly what tools I use, how much it costs to run this channel, pretty much everything. So if you have any questions that you're thinking in the back of your head or that you're ready to comment, just watch the whole video and I guarantee you're going to get the answer. So the way we actually went about finding this niche is using TubeGen AI. Pretty much the whole point of TubeGen AI is it's to make content specifically for YouTube. And I own TubeGen AI, and we make sure that you can monetize on YouTube by being partnered with 11 Labs, like the highest quality voiceover. We're using the highest quality script writing. And the niche, like I said, was actually found on TubeGen. Now keep in mind, you don't have to buy TubeGen or anything, so don't think that's what I'm trying to say here, but they did use TubeGen since TubeGen is included in my mentorship program. And of course, the people, like I said, that own the channel are in the program. So here's what they did. If you want to find a niche, you can literally find a niche on YouTube by looking up channels, looking up boring history, going through, you know, the recommended videos. You can create pretty much a YouTube account specifically for niche research where you just click through channels until you find ones that are doing good. But the idea is that you want to find one that's relatively recent. Now there's actually even like a sleep channel mode here. If we press this here, this is going to sort and use our AI analysis to go through the channels and find sleep channels. And immediately once I do that, a few pop up. So there's one I see right here. I think there was one up here. And I'm just going to go through and show you how easy it is to find a channel through here. And then once we go through them, we can pretty much just decide which one's the best. So just quickly scrolling, I quickly found 3. We have Universe Before Sleep, Echo 7, The World Before Dawn. So all we have to do is a few things. We're going to go back into what I just said prior, and we're going to find if it's repeatable, aka the title, the scripts, the voiceovers, the thumbnails. We're going to find pretty much who's making the most money, and really important, who has the least amount of videos and has the newest channel pretty much. So we're going to factor all these. So I'm going to open up Social Blade. You can either use Social Blade or ViewStat, and this is just going to look at their channel's analytics. So I have Social Blade opened up here, and this website's completely free, by the way. So I'm just going to go in each of these tabs and copy and paste their YouTube link, and we're going to be able to see exactly what their numbers look like, the graph, how quickly it took them to get views, all that stuff, which is going to factor into which channel I think would be best to run. So this first one right here, Universe Before Sleep, looks like their daily average right here is 1,500 views. If we look, it does look like it's around like 1,000-ish. Sometimes they get less, sometimes more. So 1,500 seems about accurate. And simply we can use the calculator app, right? So if we assume that they're gonna have a similar RPM that we had on Boring History, we just take 1,500 views, right? Divide that by 1,000 and multiply that by 29. So this channel might be making $43 a day, multiply that by 30, 1.3K a month. I'd say that's not that good. So let's go look at this next one. This channel right here, daily average of 12.3K. That's looking a lot better. So we already know that 12,000 divided by 1,000 is 12. Multiply this by 29. This channel might be making around 10,400. And then this channel is doing even better, The World Before Dawn. So both of these are good. This one's getting more than double the daily views. So this channel is probably making over $20,000 a month, The World Before Dawn. So let's look at the channels. World Before Dawn has 56 videos. This one has 62. So World Before Dawn actually has less videos, which is better. If we sort by oldest on both channels, let's check which channel is older. So this channel's first video is November 4th, and this one's November 7th, which this one's actually newer as well. So The World Before Dawn is actually newer. It has less videos. It gets the most views out of all the channels we saw. And now all we got to check is, are their titles, thumbnails, and videos repeatable? Well, it looks like their thumbnails, I mean, we could just simply scroll. It looks pretty much the same across every thumbnail, and it looks very similar to Boring History, just kind of for whatever this topic is. Something about, I guess it's kind of conspiracy theories. So now we can go back into TubeGen. And of course, there are other ways to make this type of channel without using TubeGen. Keep that in mind. Just TubeGen's super easy because you can find the niche and actually create the video in here. So keep in mind, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to show exactly how these guys created their channel, like I said, because they use TubeGen. So I want to be true to what I said and show you exactly how it's actually made. So pretty much all you have to do is press copy style right here. And this is actually going to download all their video transcripts, train TubeGen's AI scriptwriter to write scripts in the same manner. That way we can try and aim for the same average view duration as them, because if it's like we have the same scriptwriter as their channel, we should be able to see similar results. And as you can see, it successfully created the style. We just go over to the TubeGen homepage. If we press on this red thing here, we can press on The World Before Dawn. Now, if we go into the style, we can change the voice or whatever, but it already chose a voice for us based on what it thinks would make the most sense based on the topic. So if we actually press play, we can hear a little snippet of what this voice should sound like.
And here we have a calm, well-spoken narrator.
And the thing is, it's even setting up the language for us. It's even setting up the default word count. Everything is set for us. Now you might be like, well, how do you generate the title? Well, we go to Tools, Generate Title by Channel URL, and then simply you copy and paste the title into here. And this is genuinely how Boring History came up with the title for every single one of their videos. So now here, all of these titles that were generated should work because it's basing these titles based on the best performing videos from the channel. And it's really just going to be up to which title I think would work the best or which one I want to to have a video about, right? I like this one right here. Could Doggerland refugees have founded ancient cities? Or actually, maybe even this one. Is Atlantis buried beneath polar ice or ocean depth? So let's use this as the title. We could turn on web search if we want, but there's no need to because these aren't necessarily 100% factual videos anyways. And then simply we can just press generate right here. Just because this is an example, I'm gonna set the word. Right. And here you can see it's analyzing reference script, finalizing the script. And here it is already going at it. It writes pretty quickly, but of course this is 12,900 words. So I'm going to cut back when it's done. This should take around 5 minutes. All right, guys, the voiceover is now generated. It's 18 minutes, 36 seconds because we didn't do the full script length. And I'm just going to play the first 4 seconds so you guys can get an understanding as to what this actually sounds like. So you can read the script here.
What if the world's oldest temple wasn't built by farmers celebrating their first harvest?
And that's just an example as to what it sounds like. If we want, we can actually create a background soundtrack. So to be AI-generated music, that's going to be the exact same length as the voiceover, and the music's going to change based on the tone of the script. So the script's happy in the middle, then it'll become happy, etc. But on this channel, I don't believe they're using background music. So the next step would be to actually generate the visuals for the video because we have the script, we have the voiceover, we have the title. What do we do next? Before we do that, I'm actually going to generate the description right now, which we can do right here just by pressing generate description. And it's going to read the script and the title and generate a description for us. So here is the description. We can close this for now and this will stay here. So now I want to actually take a look at their channel and see kind of what style of videos they make. So if we go later on into the video, you can see that these are just completely still images. But when you start the video, it looks like the beginning is animated. So let's try and find out exactly at what point they stop doing animations and they switch over to images. And I'm going to be completely honest, the way this is looking, it almost looks like it was actually generated in TubeGen, which they very well could be using TubeGen. So even over 7 minutes, they're actually still doing animations up until this point. And it looks like right here, exactly at 7 minutes, 30 seconds, they transition to images. So if I click through anything here, you can see the sky's animated. You could see here, this is animated. But if I go anywhere past 7:30, you're going to see that these are going to be still images the whole way. And yes, they're adding like zoom ins and transitions, but that's super easy to do. I'm going to show you exactly how they're doing that. And now that I watched the video, I think there's a good chance that they're actually using TubeGen. And what they're doing here is they're just pressing generate images, and then we got to choose a style here. So they're probably using the realistic style. And then you can actually press animate here, but we don't want to do that because that's going to animate the whole video. Now, just because this is an example and my video is only 18 minutes long, we're going to do, let's say the first 40 seconds will be animated. And to make it so that we have like segments, like 40 seconds animated, the rest isn't, we're going to actually turn this into advanced mode. We're going to look around 40 seconds. So there's a split right here we can make. If we zoom in on this little timeline, this is where the natural splits in the sentences are. So pretty much when a sentence starts and ends, and the AI is analyzing the script to make natural breaking points so that you're not just, you know, cutting in the middle of a sentence or in a place where it doesn't make sense. There's one at 40 seconds, and then we can just check animate on this one section. So 0 seconds to 40.19 is going to be animated. And then the rest of the video we can make not animated. If we wanted to, we could actually like add more segments, for example, then animate just the first one and the third one. And you can make like 100 segments, animate the first one, the 17th one, right? And then change like the quality for each one. Advanced mode pretty much allows you to do a lot of stuff. Like you have a lot of freedom to do pretty much whatever you want and very quickly. So we're gonna add this breaking point, or this segment, I guess you would call it, at 40 seconds. And we're gonna check on animate. And I'm going to go back to their video and actually try and figure out how long these images are lasting. So we have from 7:30 until 8 minutes. And is it going to transition here? We're about to find out. So it transitions at 8:05. So it's lasting 35 seconds. Now I kind of want to check as well later in the video, is every video lasting 35, or is every image, sorry, lasting 35 seconds, or do they change it? Because what they could be doing is the first 7 minutes, 30 seconds is animated. Then from 7:30 to 30 minutes is every 35 seconds the image changes. Then from the rest of the video, it's every 5 minutes, right? So let's actually find out. Let's skip like later into the video. So right here at around an hour 39 and 40 seconds, they change images. And yeah, it seems like they're doing 35-second images for the entire video, which does actually make the cost a little bit more for them to do something like that. But so I'm literally just gonna pull up my calculator app here and do some math. If we wanna make this exactly like their channel, we get 18 minutes times 60 is 1,080 seconds, 34 seconds. And then we're gonna subtract 40 seconds, and that this is how long the rest of the video is. Now we want to divide that by 35 seconds, so we know that we need 30 images. So if we do 30 images, they'll last 35 seconds. Let's just do 31. just to round up. And in this case, we don't want to press animate here. And this way, we're going to get something very similar where our first 40 seconds is animated, and then from 40 seconds to the end of the video, we're having a new image every 35 seconds. Now, the reason I think they're using TubeGen mainly is because their images aren't exactly 35. It was like around 35 seconds, and this is what TubeGen's doing. Like I said, it's going to, not only in advanced mode does it do the natural breaking points, but same thing, if your images are averaging out to once every 35 seconds, if there's a more natural breaking point at 40 seconds, it'll wait 40 seconds for one image, and then 30 for the next. It'll average out these 31 images to be 35 seconds each, but depending on when a good paragraph or sentence starts for the image to actually change. Now we can actually turn on fixed camera here, and you can even change the animation quality, but in this case, they didn't have fixed camera. Fixed camera would just be animations where it's like somebody's recording with a camera and they're not moving. So it's like the camera's on a tripod and the people or things in the frame are moving, but without fixed camera, the camera could actually be moving as if there's a cameraman like moving around, and the people in the frame could be moving or whatever is in the frame. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna press on this button, generate prompts, and we're gonna continue. It's telling us this video right here is 5,000 credits. So for this 18-minute video, it's 5,000 credits. If we actually do the math here, at the best rate on TubeGen, $1 can get you 457 credits. So if we divide this, this would mean that this video is $11.24 to generate, which in this case, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can make the image quality fine. That would save a lot of money, actually. You could just not animate. There's ways to make this cheaper. But realistically, this channel isn't going to be super cheap because they are running animations up until 7:30. And even if we did the lowest image quality, which honestly isn't that bad because AI images, animations have gotten so good that even like the worst quality on TubeGen is still going to be probably like this. Like they're probably using the worst quality here is what it looks like to me. So each video they're uploading could be anywhere from like 50 to 150, just depending on like the settings that they're using. But hey, I mean, it's clearly working. We talked about earlier how much they're probably making. They're making a lot of money, so definitely worth it for them. All right, and now the first image is generated. Here is what it looks like. And the reason it didn't generate all the images is just to make sure you selected the right style, just because we've had issues in the past where people accidentally generate everything. So we just added a fail-safe. It's like, okay, yes, I like this style. Now you can press generate 36 more images. If you don't like the style, then you spent like practically nothing, right? It's not like we spent the $11 yet. We spent a few cents. And here it's actually telling us the prompt it's using. If we press the arrow here, it's telling us this is the prompt it used for this image. Here's the sentence that it's going to be matched with. It's telling you this scene is going to last 5.5 seconds around. You can regenerate it, retype in the prompt. You can download the image. Pretty much you have the flexibility to make this complicated and do whatever you want. Or like I said, most people are probably just going to press generate 36 more images. And if you want, you can even go to each scene. You can see scene 5 goes from 25 seconds to 33. Here's the prompt it's going to use, and here's the sentence that it's doing, like it's going to show the image over. Now, if we go later in the video, like I said, it's 35-second images. So now the sentences are going to be much longer, right? Because now they're 35 seconds instead of just a few seconds. In the start, it's going to be a few seconds per image because these ones are being animated. So now that I explained how it worked, if you want to, you can go expand these, read the sentences it's using, change the prompting, do whatever you want here. Or you could very simply just have immediately press generate 36 more images, and now it's going to generate everything, and then we're going to cut back to when it gets to that point. And that was a lot quicker than I thought. That was like 30 seconds. And now as I can scroll, you can see all the images are done. And once again, you can make this as complex or as simple as you want. You could just go straight to, opening this in the video editor or rendering out the videos. Or you could manually go through and be like, okay, do I like this image? If not, you can press regenerate and change the prompt. You can expand this and pretty much see all the details you saw on the last screen. And if you want, you can go through all of these images, but you don't have to. And now as you can see, for the images that we selected we wanted to animate, there's a little animate icon, so we could animate these one by one. And I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. Maybe you want to change your mind and just animate only the first one. But we can also press animate all images, and that's just going to animate the segments. So like I said, if we had 10 segments and segment 1 and 7 were animations and the rest weren't, only segment 1 and 7 would be options here. And you could even change your mind, right? Like uncheck 7 and only animate section 1. So pretty much with everything, we want to make it so that it's as complex as possible for people who want to do manual checking and change prompts and all this, or you could just press buttons and not do anything, right? So we're going to press animate selected. And keep in mind, out of those 5,100 credits, 3,366 are just from the animations here. So out of that $11, literally like unironically, it's like $6 or $7 of that money is just on the animations. And keep in mind, if we ran this whole video with no animations and did just an image every 35 seconds on the lowest image quality, which keep in mind, lowest isn't bad, especially because of TubeGen's partners. So realistically, this video probably could have costed like $2. And because TubeGen mass generates everything, once again, all the animations took like less than 30 seconds to animate. So it just shows this gray screen with play video, but if I actually press on one, it's going to load the animation as you can see. And if it was fixed camera, then the camera wouldn't be moving. But in this case, I didn't do fixed camera because the reference channel didn't. So now what we're going to do is we can just press open in video editor, and this is just going to import everything into the video editor and time it with the script. So we don't need to manually drag out, image number 22 and drag it to be, from this timestamp to this timestamp. TubeGen's gonna import everything for you. So the audio tracks here, if we had the music track, it'd be here too. And then we just have the whole video here. So as you can see, it's animated in the start for the first 40 seconds, and then it's around every 35 seconds the image changes. But if you can see here, let me like zoom in to show you guys, these images aren't exactly the same. Like you can see 9 is a little bit longer than 10, 8 is a little bit longer than 7. They average out to 35 seconds, but it just depends. Like 13 is pretty short because this is where the natural breaking point was to go to the next image. So now another thing they're doing is they're also doing crossfade between all the images. So in the editor, you could just press crossfade, apply to all images, right? Let me see what else they were doing. Were they doing just like zoom ins? So it looks like they're mainly doing zoom in. So we're just gonna press zoom in here and press apply to all. And now we have animations first 40 seconds, rest of the video is going to be images. And then if we go ahead and like play this video, for example, you'll be able to hear the audio and see everything. So here, I'll play like the first 10 seconds so you can kind of get an understanding.
What if the world's oldest temple wasn't built by farmers celebrating their first harvest, but by survivors documenting the night the sky fell? In the windswept hills of southeastern Turkey, where ancient stones rise.
So as you can see, it's animated throughout this part, and then once it gets to the images, it's going to start doing zoom ins, and then it's going to start doing crossfades here. As you can see, it crossfades into this next one, zooms in, crossfades into the next one. Oop, I did that a little fast, but as you can see, there's a crossfade there. And this is exactly how they made their video. And then right here, we could just press render video, and then it's gonna just render it for us. And then all we have to do with the video is upload it to YouTube. We have the title, we have the description for the video. Now we have the video. The only thing left would be the thumbnail, and ding, ding, ding. You probably could have already guessed, but you can make the thumbnail inside of TubeGen as well. So we can actually go under AI tools and press on the thumbnail generator here. And then we can go to their channel. I just searched up Atlantis, and we could just right click, copy link address, and then paste this in here. Or you could upload a reference image like one of your old thumbnails that a thumbnail artist made, right? And we're just gonna analyze this image. Now we have the image description here, and then we're going to just go ahead and change what we want. So I just made a few quick changes to this, and then we're just gonna press generate thumbnail, and it's gonna use that thumbnail as the reference. While I'm waiting for this to generate, I might as well say that there's actually a referral code for TubeGen in the description. If you want a discount, if you made it this far, lucky you, you get a discount. And keep in mind, if you want to learn directly from me, then you can go in the description and apply to join my mentorship program as well, where I host calls every single day. And guess what? In the mentorship, you get TubeGen included for free. Now, I pretty much just asked for a few changes. I'm going to open this in a new tab so you can see. I pretty much just changed the text to Atlantis under ice, said to make it yellow. And then I said put a city inside of the ice in the middle. If you read the description, like if I go back, if you read this description, that's what I changed. And that's exactly what it did. So now we have our thumbnail right here. And if you watch the whole video, you saw the title, you saw the description, you saw the video being made, and you saw the thumbnail. There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else, which is why the video is ending now. Bye.
Right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com. And do not get confused by the website names. SMM Shiba and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.